too.
McClintock is the one that's funny, and then he
love McClintock.
spanks his wife.
I don't know if
and
I've seen
spanks the
that.
daughter.
McClintock's the absolute best. One of my absolute favorites.
You recording this?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
This is good content.
Chad, what's the Western you've seen?
Yeah, what's your favorite Western?
Magnificent
I
Seven.
knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I
I knew
called
it
from,
because
like,
I know you just watched
2020.
it.
I just watched it. It's the only reason.
It has Chris Pratt in it, so
yeah.
that'll be it. Yeah, that's.
I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy too.
How was it?
It was, it's not bad.
Oh my god, I
That
love
Marvel
it.
formula
Yeah,
is
like
just
I
kind
loved
of
like parts of it. I
worn
was
out,
hoping
I
that like I don't know. I guess I can't give any.
You're fine.
It's like 3 weeks. You're good.
Yeah. When he went out in outer space, I was hoping like something like triggered in him and he became like that God particle or whatever again, instead of just still being a human. And then the ending, it was like the weirdest ending ever. Both cutscenes. Did you watch them?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the D&D movie?
Yeah.
I do want to see that.
10 out of
So
10.
good.
Yeah, we went to the movies and watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. It was great.
We were wanting you to go, and then we had to go on Sunday. I knew you worked,
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, that sucks. We're gonna watch The Flash though soon.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna rent a theater for Flash again.
That'd be fun.
That looks good actually. But yeah, I want to see. Is that
It's gonna
Dungeons and
disappoint-
Dragons still in
It's
the?
gonna disappoint me. No, it's out. You can buy it now.
You can definitely rent it, yeah, on like Amazon or whatever.
Okay. Because it
It's
did
worth
look
it.
good.
It's
They
worth it.
not making another one too. I'm super mad.
What? Yeah, they will.
They said that it didn't make that much money.
What?
On Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was.
I really liked it.
Like, I knew I was gonna like it just because I'm a shill for Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
but it was like really exceeded
I
expectations.
thought the actors in it or whatever. I
Yeah,
thought
great
that-
cast.
Yeah, like.
Oh, Chris Pine's awesome. Just being
Yeah,
Chris
he was
Pine.
great.
I love Chris Pine.
And I usually don't even like Michelle Rodriguez,
Oh, no.
and she
Yeah,
was
she's
the
terrible.
same prototypical part
Yeah.
she always is, but I liked her in that.
You know
I
she
thought did
gained
good.
40 pounds
For that one.
for that movie.
I believe
They
so.
said
She
she
looked
actually
big.
struggled with that, like
She's a
'cause
barbarian.
getting older and stuff.
Yeah.
So they said she was actually like, it was really hard to gain that weight. And women can't do just steroids like men can. And shit
I didn't
like that.
realize until in retrospect when I thought about it, but her little halfling husband that she goes to see, that was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Bradley
That's funny.
Cooper is like, because he's Rocket.
Yeah.
And then he ends up being the only one pretty much left, which is just funny. But yeah, man, I don't see how anyone doesn't watch that movie and like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Like, I loved it. It was
I've
cried.
enjoyed playing the game that he got me into that he quit on me, and it's been kind of fun to play that game and watch the cards come out. And then like I never knew a lot of those people in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I knew the cards,
Yeah.
so it was kind of it was kind of cool to.
Yeah,
I don't
like-
keep up with all
like
of it.
Cosmos
So.
then.
Well, like yeah, I didn't, and I've had the card in the game, but I never
Oh,
really
Rocket
saw the
Dog.
dog or. I like the story of Rocket, and I like the villain. I thought I just thought
He's
he
the
kind
best
of
Who was the
villain they've had.
villain?
high evolutionary or whatever.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
It was kind of, I mean, it was a wild story. There were some parts in it that I felt like it was like kind of dragged, but other than that, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just don't know where Marvel's going right now.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
was
always
the
the
Kang
same
thing, and then it
formula,
wasn't
yeah.
Kang, so.
So the big report is that there's been 2 shows that have been done and they're unwatchable. They said Kevin Feige said that he will not put them out.
They
And
need to.
The first one's Echo, which that sucks because
They need to do Secret Wars.
What's Echo?
That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
Is
Secret
it?
Wars is the.
Secret Wars would be awesome.
Well, the first movie of that will be Secret Invasion, which is a Nick Fury story
Okay.
with Talos and stuff. And they said that it's the first one they're telling kids not to watch. Because they said it is legitimately a spy thriller. It has nothing to do. It's Marvel. It's like Captain America Winter Soldier on steroids, they said.
Oh, gotcha.
Basically. And Captain America Winter Soldier is probably my favorite Marvel movie.
It was
So I
pretty
like that
good.
one. So, yeah, Secret Invasion's all about the Skrulls invading and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And then the last...
I hope it's good
I
because
know,
the comic
I know.
books are awesome for Secret
The-
Wars.
The last...
Just read that.
The last one will be Secret Wars. And it will be a Marvel. It will be Avengers.
Yeah.
It'll be everybody.
It's like it's all the Avengers, it's all the Fantastic Four, it's all the X-Men.
Mhm.
It's like all the
Everyone.
greatest villains and heroes are all.
Yeah.
And they all intermingle, right?
Yeah,
Because
they all
they're-
form
yeah.
little cliques and they get teleported to this different planet and they all have to like fight against each other. They form like little groups and cliques and stuff. It's really good.
I think that...
That's where the black symbiote suit comes from for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going.
I think this just turned into a Marvel podcast.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna
That's
have to
okay.
recast Kane too, because that guy's a nut job evidently.
What do you mean?
Kang the Conqueror, he has a bunch of accusations against him.
Oh, the actor?
Oh,
Yeah, Jonathan Majors.
Kind of stinks because you start getting into the. I hate when.
They said that
I know.
they're to the point where they said like, Marvel's like, no, we have to recast like and the problem is he's in that Loki show.
Yeah.
He's the main person in that Loki show, so they said they're gonna have to redo that.
So is there a second season of that?
It's coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Because-
Ant-Man has him in the end of it too.
Yeah, which is weird because again, you see the scene of Loki in Ant-Man.
Mm.
They actually show him he's the version that's the creator, the inventor, and like he's going around like Thomas Edison with the light bulb and stuff like that, and Loki's like, yeah, that's the most dangerous man in the world, and it's Kang.
Okay.
So
Oh, we didn't start the show.
We did. That's
We
what
did.
it's called.
We
A
started.
cold.
Yeah, it's a
We
cold
didn't
open.
say hey.
See, we usually
Yeah.
try to trick you into the cold open and just try to get meanderings, but now you've
you
now you-
bid into it.
now
It's
you've
great.
torn
That's what
Yeah,
we're-
what's
you-
the fourth wall
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
You pulled back the curtain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome
It was an illusion.
to the Hey Show.
Hey.
Just come in every 9 spaces and take over.
There's makerspace, but sure. The premier YouTube show about grappling and MMA.
You forgot
Show.
Marvel.
The show is for amateurs by amateurs, where we mainly talk about professionals.
Is that what I say?
This is our ASMR segment.
Welcome to the Hey
If you'd like
Show.
more- oh.
The premier YouTube show about grappling and MMA. The show for amateurs by amateurs, where mainly we talk about professionals, and that is our intro.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Intro
You're
segment
wrong.
done.
You're
Now
wrong.
next to
You're
next
Ron
segment.
Burgundy. All right, so we have with us Ronnie Putnam,
Hey,
Chad Hawkins,
Hello. I'm
We didn't even
unnamed.
introduce you.
I am unnamed.
Brendan Wells.
I'm not here.
All right, let's just get
What
into it
about you?
because we actually have a lot of stuff.
Michael.
I'm the host. Oh, you're the host. I forgot. It's on your thing. It says you're
Co-host.
the host. The. Brendan, what does the mean? When it
Sounds
says
pretty
the
singular.
host. Yeah, there you go.
Really?
All right, let's first off, we have actually a lot to talk about on our normal roundup
Here we
episode.
go. Grip it and rip it.
Who's number one results? So I'll go ahead and go through the list. I asked you guys to watch this. Marigali beats Pedro, and he lost, all credibility in the gi. Lose by triangle. Lovato, Chad's dad, beats Elder Cruz with a RNC.
That was pretty epic.
It
That
was
was
pretty
oh
good.
It was in his
my
hometown
God.
too.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I loved it. Tubby Algonquin beat Alex Enriquez. I actually know who that is because she was kind of on the same circuit as Sun Yoon, so it's pretty cool. I got to see her go and have a very good performance, but Tubby does win. Isaac Michel, is that how you say it?
Mhm.
I'm bad at that name. Beats Jacob Couch by decision. Dante Leon beats somebody. Oh, man. Brandon, you want to take a crack at that one?
Where is it?
Yeah, that one. That's
Ruan Alvarenga.
Oh, there we go.
Boom. Nailed it.
And Francisco
Ruan?
Lowe
Got it one.
beat William Tackett.
Oh, really? I missed that match.
Yeah.
I started right after that match. So I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
know.
that's not bad then.
Yeah.
I think Tackett. I think that was the first prelim fight. I think
yeah,
that was.
I think I pulled it up right on the Dante
Yeah.
Leon match.
Yeah, I think that's right. All right. So, what did you think of the gi match? That's the first question we have.
Well, I mean, I think Marigali's pretty much the king of the gi right now.
Agreed.
It's crazy what he's
There's
doing.
not even like a close second. I feel like,
No,
right?
he's
Like I
like-
can't even think of who I would put
A
in the
great,
next 5.
a great producer credit from our other producer Austin said. Gordon Ryan said something to the effect of Marigali is carrying the gi division in our sport single-handedly, which is obviously gigantic praise.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems
It's-
pretty
I like,
true to
I
me.
like
Accurate, too.
the concept where he's like, I'm not doing IBJJF anymore, and we're gonna set like a standard that we want to. I mean, it's neat, Like, is it Jake Paul that was doing the colliding with Dana White about paying fighters?
Mhm.
And it was like
Yeah.
at first you hated Jake Paul, and a lot of people hated Marigali at first, but it's like once you actually start seeing the right message,
Yeah.
it's like how can you hate the person? Like, I mean, there should be at IBJJF when you're winning the worlds. If you want any type of like IBJJF, sadly, is only going out there wanting a paycheck. They don't
Yeah.
really actually give a damn about like making their athletes a special tiered athlete that are up there. You know, like look at what ADCC, look at what one's done with their athletes. It's like they're almost put on a pedestal, kind of like the NFL, or like you look at these athletes and you're like, wow, this person, that person, like. But with IBJJF, it's almost like a joke now. It's almost sad.
I hate it almost too. It's like how it's came to this point where it is.
Yeah. I mean, they don't ever care about their athletes hardly. It's just the paycheck, it seems like.
Do you think even if they started paying people, it would like matter at this point?
I think they need to actually, if they want, they need to. They're almost like the old school, where they're still running off this.
Do the
we know how
Gracies
this
own all
makes
that
the money.
stuff?
I don't remember who owns it.
Or
I think
has
it's
it been
Gracie
sold
Baja.
off at this point to
I
someone
think
else?
Gracie Baja or something, that lineage owns it. But all they care about is the registration fee, which is insane. Do you know how expensive it is now?
Yeah, no.
I just found out the other day to do Indy, it's $258 for 2 divisions. $258 to do 2 divisions in a tournament.
Yeah, it's insane.
The
Yeah.
120
And you don't
used
win
to be
shit.
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even win anything. You're just showing up and being treated like shit and following all these professional stupid rules, but at the end of it you have nothing to really work for. Or you don't get to actually have any real prestige, or you're not going to be showcased. I mean,
The prestige used to be that you had like the ability to say that you were at that level, I feel like, from the medals and stuff, but now there's so many other tournaments that are high level too. It's like I feel like it's really
like
diminishing a lot.
ADCC 1 and even Flow Grappling, who's number 1, like.
And
that's
what's the
sh-
UFC one now? Fight Pass has like a thing too
Mhm.
now, where like
Mhm.
Gordon's part of that, right?
Yeah.
So
So another producer credit. Austin added a question. If this is true in terms of Marigali single-handedly carrying the sport, what do you think needs to happen to make gi jiu-jitsu more popular?
Gordon has to put a gi on, fight
No,
Marigali.
I think Marigali's doing it right. I don't think Gordon has to go in the gi. I don't think
just
it's smart
don't-
for Gordon to go in the gi.
Yeah, I was just kidding, but I just don't think that there's, like I said, I can't even think of a second person that competes in the gi. I literally can't think of a second. Can you? No.
I think they're going to have to make a gi format that runs like ADCC.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Where you have to
because-
remove all the stalling.
Yeah, and it's because we can say, like, go to an MMA sense, like, if Khabib were still fighting, there's no one out there that's gonna beat Khabib. He's gonna keep winning fights, but people are still gonna watch it, but people don't even want to watch the high level gi guys because it's boring.
Yeah.
Well,
know?
Khabib had great rivals though. Like Marigali doesn't have even a rival. Like there's
I-
no
that
one I'm
is
excited
true.
to see him even fight.
God dang it.
So
Not Kanan.
Well, they have a rivalry, but it's not a rivalry on the mats. The rivalry is outside the mat. So, if someone's like, oh, I want to see these... And that's the other thing, too, with the jiu-jitsu match. You don't, if you settle something on a jiu-jitsu match, it doesn't even feel settled yet. Not like if you settle it in the
Yeah, they're
cage.
talking
Like,
about-
it's settled in the cage, it's settled.
Yeah, they're talking about 1-to-1 gi and no gi.
Yeah.
And I don't even.
Is there
if it's
even-
1-and-1, it doesn't even make sense. Like you could just tie.
is there even room for two high tier grappling organizations like that to even exist at the same time? Like
It's getting there, especially with ADCC running their opens.
I feel like one of them's just going to take over, and that's going to be it then.
Yeah,
again.
and that'll-
just like
that'll happen.
IBJJF. It's going to be
AGF.
ADCC now for the next 15 years or whatever. But
To these kids, AGF is a big deal because they're putting a lot of money into it. They're starting to stream their matches, stuff like that. They're trying to build up world. Like I had some girl that wants to train with Sen Yun actually said, "Well, no, I'm going to AGF Worlds because that's like a big accomplishment." Naga has worlds.
Yeah.
That to
I'm
me
kind of
that's
surprised
the same thing.
Fuji is still around.
It's just like
Fuji definitely needs to revamp. There's a lot of things that are struggling with it right now, for sure.
I think, but that's franchising. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
If you start franchising out all of the things,
Mm.
in
I think they
down.
blew
That's
up
true.
too fast, and
Yeah.
then they didn't keep the internal structure good enough that it just kind of became, everybody.
It's
this
always
is running
just-
good, this not.
I don't know if my perception is just entirely skewed from when I started in jiu-jitsu or not, but it's just always seemed like the minor leagues or something
Yeah.
of jiu-jitsu.
And they need to own that. I think they want to go to the major leagues, and they need to,
Yeah, I
there's
think you're
places
right.
in both.
I think
Sure.
they should just dominate that
Hollywood,
level.
yeah.
It's
Hollywood
kind of like
boys.
Heath was a genius when he came out with that new instructional series. Like
Yeah,
that was
the
the best thing that you could possibly
Directed
ever
at white
do.
belts.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like
great.
I mean, because that's really, I mean, the white belts always get shit all over, and it's kind of neat that paid off.
Yeah.
That, you know, like, that's the majority of the sport probably is white belts.
Yeah.
So
I've actually had one coach where we came into like their school and Sun Yun trained, and he made a joke and he's like, "Oh, you guys gonna put Sun Yun in a white belt so she can win everything?"
yeah,
And I was just like,
hopefully.
yeah, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we just
mean,
put her in a white belt.
Can we do that? Like,
So I think it's funny the criticism that our schools get that we promote white belts and we like training the next people.
I mean,
think that's
every
funny.
school on the planet says they want to go back to white belt, whether they like, you know, they all make that joke.
Yeah.
But to finish that question, I think the only way that you're going to get the gi to have the same exposure of all the other crap right now going on is you're going to have to somehow figure out how to change the rule set. Like, almost like you give points for just changing certain positions. You know, like just even going from half guard to spider guard, something so you're just not sitting there holding these 1 or 2 grips and then waiting at
Wow.
2 minutes and then...
You're talking about like you get an advantage for like progressing.
Yeah, well, just even switching through things to
Hmm.
keep the hype going, because that's what makes the no-gi so fun, is there's no way to kind of stall. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the time you do get to the stalling, you've pushed it so hard you're exhausted. That's why you're doing it. And then you're getting yelled at immediately if you do stall. Like, in the gi, it's like, you know, these 2 or 3 grips, and you just stay in the half guard or the spider guard, and you know, okay, well, blah, 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 I'm going to wait to dump them over. Like, so you got to figure out a way to, you know, money bonuses or something to push the pace harder. Like, I always thought bonuses for things would be awesome. You know, like if you pass the guard, you get $1,000.
Did you see the comment on UFC, the last card?
Mm-hmm.
There was some hellacious knockout on the prelims that some lady did, and they were like, this is like knockout of the year type stuff. Did not get knockout of the night.
Yeah.
And I guess they asked Dana, like, why didn't you consider it? He's like, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, like, think about how flawed that is, though, as
Yeah.
like knockout of the night, but oh, I have to see it, you know, to actually know.
I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that a lot of times after the events, he goes backstage and gives out like non-discretionary bonuses. They call it a lot of times too. So I would I would like to
hope.
think
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
It'd
would have
be better that one just says if you finish somebody, you get 50
Yeah.
grand.
definitely. I 100% agree. I think that's awesome.
I feel like Dana is the kind of guy that would make sure he publicizes that he did something nice.
I don't know. I think he might be a little off with that.
It's I don't
I
know.
like the
Like,
little rivalry we got going.
no, I don't disagree with that because Vince McMahon I know does that,
Yeah.
because I hear that from people that like are actually around him. I think they said one time it wasn't even like close to him. It was like someone's family member passed away, and they made a comment like, "Oh yeah, well they're okay, but you know it was just kind of sudden." And all of a sudden, everything was paid for the funeral and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they said that he was like, "Oh, thanks for that." And he was like, "What are you talking about? I
Right.
didn't do that." And then everybody's like, "Well, it had to be you because you're a rich person.
You're the
and
only
people
one
don't
doing
usually
that. You're not
just
a
do
poor?
that." Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
not
a
a
poor.
poor.
Not a poor.
I can't remember what show that's from. I think
Reel
it's
back
from You're the Worst, because I love that show. You ever seen that?
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a very messed up love story. But anyways, impressive performance of the night for who's number one. I can go through the list again. Marigali won, Lovato, Tubby, Isaac, Dante, and
I think Lovato.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gotta be
it's hard
Lovato.
not to give it to Lovato.
I mean,
If we're
I love
talking
the statement he
impressive.
made the next day
Yeah.
What do you say?
when he said, it was like, don't doubt
you're the one
an
who saw it.
old dog. Don't doubt an old dog, you know, in a sport where most men don't make it to this age or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, like it was something
How
basically
old
along
is
the
he
lines.
now?
He's got to be 40.
Yeah, he's for
I
sure.
think we looked him
40.
up and it was like 40 or 41 or.
I can look
So
it up.
he had Chad when he was 15.
Yeah, Joe was one. So that's my dad. That's how
That's
he
my
does
dad.
it. Is to work at 1 years old starts. But you know, like basically like.
The most famous Lovato, by the way, is Demi. So
Hmm.
I have to put in.
That makes sense.
That's sad.
She got her blue belt.
Yeah, she's a blue belt.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
After that, it really went downhill.
Well, he is
Things
30.
changed
He is
quickly.
39.
So
Whoa.
listen, he
So-
literally
Wow.
popped out of mom,
Yeah, so-
and then was like, "Come
Right
here,
back
Chad."
into it.
So I agree with that. And then also there was a comment because they said it on the show with the match that I guess Elder Cruz was like, they were talking about what Lovato does good, and he's just like, I'm not gonna let that
Yeah,
older gentleman
I remember
do
watching
or
that.
something. And Lovato like shot a look at him, kind of like, so that
It's
obviously
on. It's on now, buddy.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Lost opportunity of the night.
I thought. I know this is one that Chad said he didn't see, but I thought. Oh man, I'm just blanking on his name.
Dante?
No,
No, the
William.
fight before that.
Tackett. Yeah, I thought Tackett just looked off. He looked like he just looked like he wasn't quite there yet. Like his mind wasn't in it. He just didn't look normal.
Which
like
Tackett was it?
William, which is the older one, not
Okay.
the one that was on the
What's
show.
the
with
other one's name?
Andrew.
Andrew.
There's 3, right?
Caleb's the Caleb's son.
Which one beat Andrew? Was it William?
Andrew Wilson.
William.
Yeah.
William did, I think.
Heel hooked him at that one
Andrew's
show.
the one that was on the show Tristan was on.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but William normally looks way better. He just looked flat, just flat. It just didn't seem like a normal performance out of him.
He made
Which
it.
is that's why I
lot
think
of
that's that
mistakes.
lost opportunity. Because that guy did not look that much better than him. I mean,
They talked him up pretty good, but
Did
yeah,
they?
I didn't think. Yeah. Match of the night. There's only like a couple choices on that one.
you kind
Most
of
of
still
them
got to
were
go with Lovato. I mean, that's such a because what
It was towards
when
the
you,
end.
yeah, it's
too.
towards the
Yeah.
end on the finish. You can't on a fight like that. It's so it's nice to have a long match and then it still get ended before time because
Yeah.
it's like a flash submission right off the bat. It's not that great of a one. It's like, oh, you just got caught. But when it's a battle, a war, and it ends in a submission, that's a
pretty
great
much the most
match.
satisfying way it can go.
Exactly,
I
the
would-
most satisfying.
I would say Tubby and Alex would be mine because it was just so back and forth.
Was
Tubby, who's an older competitor, really beat up Alex this time a little bit more, but it still was competitive.
It's
which
always
I know
nice
is
to
hard
see the
explain.
old dogs beat up the young kids.
It is.
It's like so fulfilling.
winning.
Yeah.
She's
Because we
winning.
get talked
cathartic.
shit about all the time. It's like, oh, masters competitors can't.
Yeah.
But
They can't, so.
they're right.
There's only
Let's
a
be
few-
honest.
We only got a few people to cling on to. Oh, we got Lovato.
Go Dad.
All right, let's go on to one then. One FC. I'll go ahead and run all of that down. Demetrius Johnson beats Morales by a unanimous decision.
Who did he beat?
Adriano Morales,
Mm,
the one
I
that
know
he's
him.
had the three. He's had 3 fights with him.
Yeah, he
Oh,
won the
okay.
first time, and then Demetrius won the second time.
Correct. Yeah.
And then now he won, the third
rubber
time.
match
Yeah.
And I'll let Ronnie break
by
that
decision,
one down
or
by decision. But
Yeah.
Ronnie was really impressed.
was it a
with,
mixed rules thing?
No, it was a
Oh.
full
MMA.
MMA. So they've had on those 3 matches. Adrian won with a flying knee, and then he won
Grounded
with a
knee.
grounded knee,
Yeah.
and then the second match, Demetrius won with a flying knee.
Did
Yeah,
he
I
knock him
remember that.
out with the
Mhm.
grounded knee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Ow.
one, so
The
grounded.
grounded
knees
knee, he knocked
yeah.
him out with it,
Mhm.
or he?
Yeah, KO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Against
Wow.
the cage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was like
His-
slumped down,
yeah.
took it right in the
Yeah.
face.
Both of them
Ugh.
were KO
Yep.
knees, and then the third one went to decision. And man, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
It was a good fight.
Demetrius
were
is always fun
war.
to watch, man.
He is fun to watch, but Adrian he's a force.
I don't
man.
know anything about him. I guess just a little bit we've talked about.
I've watched at least one of the fights for sure, and then the highlights of all 3 of the matches. So
Yeah, he's a good grappler. He can hold his own there for
Is
sure.
he a better grappler than Demetrius?
I think they're even in grappling, and
Okay.
Demetrius has a slight edge in the striking, but I mean it's close.
I like how Mikey keeps calling Demetrius Johnson out.
Yeah.
Mikey Musoneci
Yeah.
does. Nice.
Oh,
Good for
we
him.
have a big update on that. There's a really
I
good one
think
on
Mikey
that.
wins that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume under
Yeah,
just
so-
BJJ rules.
Yeah.
Rotang beats Edgar Tabares
That was
by
a-
an elbow.
I don't think Rotan can be stopped.
No.
And he's like an old OG.
Yes.
He's like the Muay Thai guy, I feel like.
His record, I believe, his Muay Thai record, I believe, is 240-40.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he
You
throws
got
like
300 Muay Thai fights or whatever.
Fuck that.
Like,
If I have 3, you should just go ahead and put me in an insane asylum. There's no reason I should be in
and
there.
he's how old now? Probably like in
He's
his
got to
mid
be in his
30s, 40s. Yeah.
early 40s.
So he probably started fighting when he was like
15,
17
yeah.
or something. Like,
He
boy,
came out the
imagine
womb,
having
man.
300
That's like 6 fights a year.
That's
or
like being in
something at
300
least.
truck
It's way
wrecks.
more than that, actually.
Tell them how they finished that fight, Ronnie.
Oh, the competitor, which I don't remember his name because Rotang was in the cage,
Edgar.
kept throwing these spinning back elbows. Like he thought, oh, I'm gonna catch him because he kept throwing the kicks, waited for Rotang to catch the kick, and threw a spinning back elbow.
Mhm.
You guys
He
want
had-
the old?
What's that?
Rotate's 25.
What?
Wow.
No way.
No. No.
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Fuck.
25?
He looks 40. Fuck.
So now
Jesus.
that'll really help our update
Woo!
on Rotate too.
I feel like
That's
I've
great.
been hearing his name for so long.
That means
25?
he's probably when he was.
He has to do like a fight a week.
Yes.
Well, they start when they're
That's
like
exactly
8
what
or
I
10
was
because I
saying.
watched that Fight World and they said they start when they're like 8 or 10.
Yeah.
He's gonna
That
die at
is. That's like a
27.
fight every other week.
Yeah, I cannot, man.
Well, I think it's the tournaments, right? Don't
Yeah.
they do like 3 or 4 fights in
Yeah,
one
Muay
day?
Thai, though,
Which
which
Fuck that.
also sounds horrendous. But
I mean,
you know,
I don't want to do 3 matches in jiu-jitsu
Dude,
in one day,
yeah.
let alone 3
You
Muay Thai
probably
fights.
you probably are getting how many jiu-jitsu matches do you think you've done?
When I tried to calculate it, it was definitely around 400. But
Yeah,
Like-
and that's in 3 years.
And you're not even
4
counting
or,
like
sorry, 10
in the
years.
gym, you know?
right, but I mean, it's a lot. I could not imagine taking knees, elbows, kicks, punches. Like jiu-jitsu is hard enough, and it don't even have all that. So
Yeah.
These in
I
those
dread
are-
it.
Jiu-Jitsu hurts everything but your brain.
yeah, like I'm gonna go wrestling, and realistically, like as long as I tap and I don't get my pride, and I should be
Yeah.
okay. This
Yeah.
is like, well, you could literally die.
Yeah.
I mean, the right elbow, the right knee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of elbow, that is how he finished it. He crumpled him like a classic
So he
Jim
kept trying
Miller
to
elbow. Yeah, so he kept trying to hit that spinning back elbow, and then Rotang caught it and then threw his own elbow over the top and crumpled him. I mean, just crumpled him.
walked off.
Yeah,
The
he
one
was
thing I
pretty-
do like about those matches, it's like, you're like, that didn't even look hard, and the guy's dead.
Yeah,
Like, it's just so like,
it's pinpoint.
yeah.
He kept throwing it, and he would smile and laugh and
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, you want to throw elbows?"
Yeah.
And it was almost like he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna finish you with an
Oh,
elbow."
it was the most "I'll be your Huckleberry" moment I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my life. Love
It's
it.
funny.
Mikey Musumeci beats Osama Almari, and then
Sambo guy or something?
Chad looked him up last time, so he was actually
No.
a
He
jits
was
guy.
he's a jits guy. That's
Okay.
right, because
Yeah.
he's out of
Yeah, he's
Atos.
yeah.
Okay.
And he won by rear naked choke. There's a big adjustment that Mikey did, so I'll if anybody saw it or Ronnie, I'll let you.
Pretty good match.
Yeah, he started getting fixating on legs like he normally does, Mikey, and he couldn't get the guy to tap. The guy was being very defensive with legs. It was impressive, to be honest. He did a good job of hiding his legs and getting out of leg locks and stuff. And finally, Mikey got to the back, and then it was done. But Mikey being able to switch from going to legs to back is
How did
good.
he get his back?
Basically, coming off of the leg lock, as the guy spun out, he was able to climb up the back.
Speaking of that technique yesterday that Steven taught was amazing. Was
So good.
Absolutely.
that was so cool. You just a little kick out spin.
Yeah. So basically, what he's
At
doing
first,
is,
I was like, I don't think that'll work, and then
Yeah.
it feels great.
yeah, he was going like he got into the cross ashi, and then like playing with the legs, and then your opponent reaches up to try to pull on your arm, and he basically arm drags you and uses his underfoot and like sumigashi kicks him out and goes to the arm bar.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
it's
actually,
slick.
I mean, every time I train with him, I learn 3 or 4 new things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's amazing.
So
We're going to plug him in a minute, though. Because
Okay.
We're going to talk about something else. Stan Fairtex beats Alyssa Anderson by a body kick.
That was a yeah.
We can just go over that one. Stan's a star. Everyone loves her. That she comes to America, she'll be one of the biggest MMA stories around.
Yeah, she was getting beat a little bit. I think
Yeah.
like scorecard wise before she got the knockout she was probably down. And she hit a body kick, not even liver side, other side body kick, and just crumpled her. It was
There's something
Crazy.
special about watching someone get knocked out with a body shot.
Yeah.
It's just always satisfying.
yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to do the other thing. So, 2 news on the bromance that I will watch for the rest of my life
Mm-hmm.
of Rotang and Mikey. I will.
Oh,
If
yeah?
they make
They
a
are-
show, I will
yes.
watch it religiously. Like
That's
it will
cool.
be my show that I watch, and I just every time it comes out, I'm just watching as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, they're
Um,
legit like
best
best,
friend.
friends. Like as when Mikey's walking in the cage, he makes sure he finds Rotang and fist bumps them going up, and vice versa.
Nothing wrong with being
It's-
best friends with a legend.
I know, right?
So
At
he,
25 years old.
Yeah.
he
He's
legit
been fighting since he was 3.
Yeah.
he legitimately on the face-offs, Mikey came up and I guess Rotating was telling him, he's like, you can't smile when you go to a face-off, you can't whatever. And he gets up and he puts his fists up and has a serious face. He goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he starts
Yeah.
shaking his head. It was like, oh, it's such an honor to meet you.
Yeah.
And you Rotating's in the background, just be like, oh, come on.
He's
such a
man,
Mikey.
jeez. So Rotang has announced that he wants to just transition to MMA.
Well,
Wants to
he's only 25, so
come to
he's got
America.
plenty
He
of
gets
time.
Mikey to help him.
That's
Yeah.
going.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Mikey Musumeci wants to get in the cage.
Oh my god.
I don't know about this.
And he said he is inspired, and his striking coach is
You know what?
Rotang.
Mikey
Yeah.
seems pretty smart and pretty good at being dedicated to something. Maybe he'd be really impressive, honestly.
Whoa. I don't know. That's.
Yeah.
But-
So body style, type, and demeanor, we're like, no way. But he's got a good coach. So
I mean, he
Seems like-
learns at halfway
Can he
decent
wear like
striking.
a helmet when he's in the cage?
I don't know. He seems like he's pretty good at getting good at stuff. So
Well, he'll definitely put the work ethic in.
Yeah,
I
that
just
he's
don't know
got
all
body
the-
type wise. He's
I
got
know.
it.
It's just.
how much does he weigh? What's he compete at?
Getting
Light feather?
122.
Yeah,
I'm-
so he'd be like a featherweight or whatever, a
Flyweight.
bantamweight or flyweight. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what it is.
he's never even stood up with anyone in the cage yet.
We're at 30 minutes. He's like, the longest I've ever seen him stand with someone in the cage was about 15 seconds.
Yeah. He's worse than me, I think.
Yeah.
I think I have more stand-up time on the mat than he might.
He's definitely gonna have to work on his
There
wrestling.
you go. You just heard it here. Chad Hawkins says he can beat Mikey Musumeci.
In a mixed martial arts match.
I do think I could in stand-up. I'll take that fight.
There we
No
go.
jiu-jitsu, just stand-up.
Just stand-
No jujitsu.
Yeah, I'm not gonna jiu-jitsu in the cage. We're doing the Muay Thai rules.
Did you do jiu-jitsu as a verb? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna jiu-jitsu him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
Sebastian Kadastam beats Roberto Saldic. Roberto Saldic is RoboCop.
Yeah, that
And-
was crazy.
Ronnie now gets to get made fun of every time he tells somebody they can't develop one hand.
Yeah, so RoboCop, who came in as a guy that he's just a killer, like he just knocked people out.
UFC
Really-
heavily pursued him.
Yeah. He only throws his right hand.
That's not
it.
an exaggeration.
That I wish I mean he will throw some setup jabs off the left, but the only time he throws
Does he
anything
switch
hard.
stance?
Nope, he just here, bam, here. He will mix it up sometimes and throw it as an uppercut instead of a hook, but other than that, he's got a
Straight
1-4. That's
consistency.
Does he
it.
have the Chuck Liddell overhand?
He will
Did
change
that.
angles, but he will not throw his left hand.
So when he's kept throwing out, I was like, "There's no way you can't figure that out," and the guy did knock
Yeah.
him out, but he got rocked
So he got
so
rocked
many
3 or
times
4
with that
times.
right hand, and Ronnie's like, "I don't understand how someone can't stop that. It's one hand coming at you."
And then the guy did stop it.
He did.
did, but
It took him till about the 3rd round, I believe, to get it, and like that's crazy. And this
it-
guy's like has a crazy good. I think he's only lost like 10 fights as a kickboxer.
yeah. So he throws only one hand. It's
And his whole
incredible.
career, he's done that?
Yes, it's incredible.
You'd think you'd prepare for that.
But it's so fast. This is what we said. It's so fast. It's fast and powerful. It's not just fast. But it was insane.
You think most of
It's like
Tristan's
an
opponents
anime
are prepared for wrestling?
character.
Oh no, yeah, that's what Ronnie
You
said.
have.
That's what he said. He says like an anime character, and that's what you were saying. He just throws one
Yeah.
punch and it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna skip one fight. We're gonna go to Ong Lasong versus Fawn Rong. That was a great matchup. It was a guillotine choke. He is called the boa constrictor,
Yeah.
and the
I
guy
remember that.
decided to blast double him and put his head,
Mhm.
right by his hip, and then he
just-
just guillotined the shit out of him. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But he's a legend in one, and his big goal was to come to America. So it was really cool. He got to come over and come to
I
America.
really love one in ADCC. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking this weekend or whatever. I'm really happy at the point where I am in like life, like, because this is a pretty cool era right now. And there's other times. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
there's all
Yeah.
kinds,
Mhm.
But like I don't know if I would have liked jiu-jitsu in 2000 to 2010 as much. You
That's
know what
fair.
I'm saying? Like I feel like right now with all the technology and where everything's going, like it's so exciting that I think I would have been really disappointed in jiu-jitsu in the 2000s, where it's more heavily gi based and
Yeah.
the entertainment wasn't.
But there was also that like little edge of like exclusivity and like
yeah, for sure,
secrecy to it a
right,
little bit.
yeah,
like,
yeah. Like I finished that book.
like
by
you knew the
Hickson
secret
Gracie.
techniques that no one else knew.
Right,
You know?
I agree with that. But you know, like ADCC it's cool. It's like it's really cool to
For
see.
sure.
You know,
They're
just
both
even looking
awesome.
at 2012 to now, like when
Yeah.
I started, I mean, it's crazy to see the growth.
Guys, we're burying the lead because we got two jiu-jitsu experts at the end here. We got to announce these
Alright.
winners, okay? Ty Rotolo defeats the Riddler.
Yeah, I haven't
Michael
seen that
called
match.
this 100%. I was like, there's no way. He's too big.
Yeah.
And he was too big, and Ty couldn't do anything. The only catch that was even close was the Riddler's, but he got it all in the aggression of the cage.
Is DeRitter, whatever his name is he at the same size as Marigali?
Probably. They look
That's-
similar.
That's
They got to be close
he,
for sure.
he fights at MMA at 205 and heavy.
And
so he
Marigali's
can make
205, I
205.
think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to see.
I would like to
him
see
and Marigali.
one bring Marigali and have them just do that
God,
match.
Chad, way to ruin segments. Jesus
I
Christ,
just
man!
wanted to
Like,
do that
just
for
read
you.
the script.
You
Anyways,
send it to me.
yeah, no, Marigali is talking about going to one and bringing Gi into one because Gordon. Yeah, I know you're gonna hate that, but Gordon, was gonna go to one, and then Andre, I think, went, and now they're, doing a lot of Atos stuff, so I think that's why. But yeah, Marigali said that he's asking fans where do they want to see him bring Gi Jiu-Jitsu. So I think he'll
Yeah,
probably go to
I don't
one.
know where to
What
take,
if
I don't know where to take
ADCC
gi
was
jiu-jitsu.
fast with the like stalling calls about grips? Like if you have a lapel grip
You can only have it for
for
20
like
seconds.
10 seconds, then they start fucking.
Man, I don't know.
They do that
You'd
with
have to have
50-50
such
now.
a.
But then
yeah.
what do they do after? Like, do they make you?
Do I let
release
go
it,
and then
be
re-grab
like,
it
yeah,
20 seconds,
like,
5 seconds
exactly.
Women's 50-50. I saw 50 penalties at Pants.
later? I think the bonuses have to be implemented. I don't know why not. Like instead of giving $50,000, like $1,000 for passing the guard, $1,000 for maintaining knee on belly, $1,000 for.
But wouldn't it just be better to take that $25,000 and just throw it all into no-gi, and just get even
Well-
more people involved and excited about that?
I mean, I don't know
Like,
how
if
to
you
make
were an investor,
jiu-jitsu exciting.
I
don't.
don't either.
Because, I mean, for every one gi exciting match at a high level, there's 500 that are awful.
We have so much more to talk about, so I'm going to
Sorry.
make my joke now. Well, I think this guy, if he started jiu-jitsu in the gi, he would make it exciting.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Because Sage Northcutt defeats
Sage-
Ahmad Mujab by heel hook
Yeah.
I
in
saw that.
MMA.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Guys, he trains.
That poor kid though,
he
he's
trains
had a
at-
rough.
He trains
Go.
at Gracie Baja, Texas, guys, and he learned that heel hook. And he was like, "Hey, I know I'm gonna need this," because somehow again he got dropped.
They fed him to the wolves as soon as he got to the UFC.
He got dropped again.
It's still cool that
in
he's
heel
still
hook.
there. Because, I mean, a lot of people, I think,
Would have just quit.
yeah.
It also insults us as MMA fans of like one being like, "Hey, I know what you guys want to see.
Yeah.
You want to see one of your own on this card, so we're gonna bring you Sage Northcutt."
I'd rather see Roy Nelson.
He was fun to watch.
Exactly.
I always liked Roy Nelson.
I mean,
I think
he's the one with the
the-
big belly that
yeah,
just knocked everyone
exactly.
out, right?
And he was like a kung flu.
There
red
for a while, I
belt
was
or
like
something.
a biggest hater. I was like, there ain't no way. And then I'm like, I became a
He
fan.
won the Ultimate Fighter, I think, if
Yeah.
I remember
He
right.
did.
Who
So
did he beat too? Someone cool in the finals.
He
like-
beat Brendan Schaub.
Oh,
I don't know
was
if he
it?
beat him in the finals, but he did beat Brendan
Okay.
Schaub
No,
on the
he
show.
did.
Maybe
Yeah,
that was the
finals
finals.
match.
because I never thought Brandon Shaw would do anything.
Yeah.
Because I remember that season. Because first off, that was Kimbo, right? So that's everyone
Okay.
wanted Kimbo
It
to win.
was.
But I just never thought that Brandon Shaw would do anything. I was always surprised he made it that far, and then he ended up being.
It always
beaten
kind of
bad.
hurt me a little bit deep inside that he knocked out Mirko Krokop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the guy you want to beat Crow
Man.
Cop.
Krokop's one of my all-time favorites.
Yes,
He's got that for the
absolutely.
rest of his life. But you all three can now apologize to Sage.
Hey, I said that he had a rough go.
There we go.
Guys,
Apology done. Next.
he's a jiu-jitsu god now. He did a heel hook in the cage.
What's
All like
next?
you
It's
see him.
almost, it was almost as good as Buchecha's.
Oh.
Did he do that in the cage?
On one, he had
Yeah,
a
it
horrible
was-
heel hook, but he got it.
It was
like-
just some guy that knew nothing, and yeah.
You ever shot a double and then end up on your back? and then come up with a heel hook?
No.
If you did, you're Marcus Buchecha.
I'll try that though.
You know what's sad is Marcus Buchecha is one of the greatest of all time.
He is.
He has accomplished so much.
Hold your fucking horses. Son of a bitch. Just 1 second. We're getting there. It's right here. See?
You didn't send it to me
Why do I not send it to you?
because I would have read it.
There you
Okay. Tammy Musumeci. So we have some really cool matches coming up, and you can give all that praise in 1 second. The first match that's been announced for one
Actually,
is
I'm gonna give
Tammy
praise.
Musumeci going against Tubby, who actually just won on Who's Number One.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a match. She beat Bia. I always get these
Bia
mixed up.
Mosquito?
Yeah. She beat her. So now she's on to Tubby, which Tubby is one of the best. So. Cade versus Tommy Landgate.
Yeah.
I can say that name good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I would say Cade won.
It's Tommy's a really, really good leg blocker.
I know, but Couch, after talking with Couch, I think Cade will win.
Think so?
Okay.
Why?
Sweet.
Okay.
No,
I don't know what
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Couch got to train with him, and
Cade?
they with
Tommy?
Tommy.
yeah,
Oh.
when they were over in Europe or whatever, and
Mhm.
just talking back and forth. I think, from what I don't want to say anything crazy, but like Couch had the better hand.
No kidding.
So, and I think Cade probably would have the better hand of Couch at this point, and I could be wrong.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I don't think.
How big's Couch?
Well, I
180.
agree, but Couch would have to make that. Like, what do you fight? What did he fight?
Cade's
185.
smaller than
Ty.
Ty.
Right, but if it was 185, I think Cade would win.
That is what Couch weighed in at that last Who's Number One.
Because
Okay.
I feel like
Against
I would
Isaac?
like to see Cade
Correct.
versus Isaac.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
here's the
that would be
thing,
fun.
Couch is great. I'm not hating on Couch at all, but he still needs so much work on the stand up and the top position game. And so I think that until he can add that to his game, he's not going to be able to do these main high level things.
Brandon's gonna be so disappointed in me.
Um,
I forgot the word.
I think
But you're
Cade.
the person who taught me that transitive property doesn't work in jiu-jitsu.
You just used a really big word.
Yeah, basically what he's talking about is like what us plebeians that don't know a lot of words call MMA math. If, let's say, you can beat
Right. True.
Corey, and Corey can beat Tristan, but that doesn't mean that you
But-
can beat
okay,
Tristan.
so here's the thing. You're not going to get, Couch isn't going to get Cade into close guard. Never happen. Couch isn't going to leg lock Cade. Ain't going to happen. There's just no way. So, Couch is definitely not going to slow him down and lock him down, which is his two strengths right now. And he's not going to be able to wrestle with him, and he's not going to be able to scramble with him.
I am not arguing with you, but
So-
that's the opposite of what Steven said yesterday. Because he said that if some guy grabs your heel and he's just way stronger, it still will get bad.
Right.
And I just look at Couch is going to be bigger and stronger than him.
I think at 185, I'd like to see all three of those matches.
Yeah.
Would be fun. I mean, I would
No,
watch
I
them all.
agree.
You can beat Corey?
That's a way different. Like I think Cade could come in at like 170 or 175, and Couch could come in at
God,
185, and it'd be
You're
10
the
pounds.
MVP of the show, man. I love you. All right.
I mean, you're going to a
Um,
high level extreme here.
Marcus Buchecha is fighting Ryu, a sand fighter from Africa.
What the fuck is sand fighting?
It's
It's
sand
literally what it
wrestling.
sounds like?
Sand wrestling.
Shit.
And it's
I kind of want to
the-
become a sand fighter.
it's
Can I add that to my bio?
it's a mixture of
Good.
wrestling
It's
and
brutal.
judo. Big throws. And
I'll
that's
be
how
your
you
manager.
win is doing those big throws.
Which means I just stand there. And,
And take 10% of my
Pause
loss.
it.
well, I'm going to need a lion's share of the money.
Ronnie has a hot take on this
Sure.
one. How do you think Buchecha is going to do against Ryu?
I think it's gonna be tough. I really think he's gonna have a tough time with him, even though that like his background is not getting taken down. That is literally the entire point. Like sand fighting
Is this a
is very.
jiu-jitsu match?
No, this is an
MMA.
MMA match.
Okay.
Which is why I think like, if he's going to be one very very tough, and two very very hard to take down. So unless he's pulling guard, and getting into leg entanglements and stuff like that, maybe. But even then, we're talking a very very big dude, very big, very
Damn.
strong. And it's like the
Black
Riddler.
Panther
It was so
sports.
hard for Rotolo to take down the Riddler, and he couldn't get into his game.
Buchecha
so.
is undefeated right now, right? Now, I mean, I'm not saying that's like a great, because I don't think he's fought
Right.
anybody
I think
wonderful,
he-
but
Yeah, I
How
think
old
he's
is
only
Buchecha?
got like 5
30?
fights, though.
Probably
5 or
30.
6 fights.
I think
28.
I feel like all of his opponents have not been
Right.
anything that I've been impressed with.
And this is another one that doesn't have any MMA acumen, or at least not any big MMA acumen. But I still
Uyghur
think
is
it's gonna be tough.
5-1, and Buchecha is 4-0. So it's actually pretty even in terms.
I
of
actually kind of want to see that match.
I think it. Yeah, I think
I
it'll
don't
be
know
good.
if-
But
I don't know
nice.
if Buchecha can win
What's
that.
Buchecha's stand-up look like?
It's not
It's
good
not
at
there.
all.
Yeah, that's where even.
Actually, I think it's very like Tristan. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of the similarities there at the moment.
There is. His is. I'm gonna throw bombs, and if you grab me, that's okay, because that's where I want to be anyway. Which is a very jiu-jitsu oriented.
But I feel like that's not
Javier
gonna
Lovato's
play
that
into
way.
his-
Mackenzie Dern's that way.
If you, but if, in terms of a takedown in MMA, he's not gonna. That guy's not gonna shoot like a double,
No.
like that one guy did, and then whatever.
This
He's
guy
gonna.
seems like a
But
hard
here's the thing
matchup
too. I
for
want
him.
to correct that because I mean, Buchecha could have good stand up. Tristan's stand up isn't bad.
Right.
He's got to figure out how to open up in the cage, and Buchecha doesn't either. Like you
Yeah.
can see when they go in the cage
It's,
that it's like there could be there. We know it's there, but how do you make the person
Right.
without just
Yeah.
try
It's-
on fire or whatever?
Yeah, it's this might be the time where we see both of them show some stand up, because it's
They're
that
gonna
whole
have
thing.
to if they want their career to get to a new level.
Well, I just mean in that fight in general, because Buchecha is going to have a hard time taking him down, and he's going to have a hard time
Yeah.
taking Buchecha down. So what's the only other
Is
option?
the other guys stand-up any good?
I would
He
assume
hits
not.
hard.
I'm assuming that's it. He's
He
just
looks like a
He looks
he's a
like he
demigod.
can
I've
clobber
seen-
you.
I think
sure.
he's KO'd a bunch
just
of
his
people. He
jawline
hits
makes me
hard.
want to like bow down.
yeah,
and-
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he hits hard.
I'm always
I know
jealous
that.
of people with nice facial jawlines.
Craig
Next.
Jones.
Wait, I didn't give my
Craig-
Buchecha praise.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying that Buchecha is one of the greatest of all times, and the sad part is everyone will remember him in the sport as Gordon Ryan laughing at him when he tried to heel hook
That's
Gordon
true.
Ryan.
Yeah, that is true.
Sure.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
11 times something world champion at
He
IBJJF.
lost to, what's his name too? With that bow choke or whatever.
Oh well,
Hodger
he
Gracie?
threw the match to Hodger Gracie, but that's okay.
Craig Jones versus Pena. Now, last time we talked about this a little bit. Craig Jones just came out and said Pena is the greatest jiu-jitsu competitor of all time.
We had this talk already.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
But he's only saying that to mock Gordon Ryan. So
I don't know.
nah, 100%.
You think so?
Yeah, he's just trolling
I-
Gordon.
Are we trying to decide
I
who
would
wins,
say
or what are we talking about?
Yeah, just just what you think about that.
Oh yeah, I just thought he was.
Who
I know
do you
that
think
I
wins?
think Craig. I think
Between
Craig's gonna
who?
win because I don't think
Craig
Pena's gonna
and
take him
Felipe?
serious.
I feel like if Craig doesn't win in the first couple minutes, he's probably not gonna.
See, at first I immediately picked Craig,
Yeah.
and then I immediately had to switch back to Pena.
Yeah.
So I don't think it kind of goes back to that
God, I
couch
want
thing.
Craig to win so bad.
I do too,
though.
because I am a fan of Craig. I really am. But like, it kind of switched back to that couch thinking thing. Once I really started thinking about it, like, I don't see Craig do a lot on top, and I don't see Greg do a lot of wrestling type
Well,
stuff.
it's just like
It's
even
EBI.
Gordon didn't really
yeah,
beat
and that's what
Pena.
you said. I think. Remember, the EBI will make a huge factor.
I think he beats him in EBI.
Oh,
I mean,
is that what the rule set is?
Yeah, that's
does
that's
make
what
a
I forgot
huge
because that
difference.
makes such a difference.
10 minutes because
And
if he's the last 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes and then it's EBI rules.
I also don't know how many times Pena's competed under that rule set, but Craig's kind of a veteran of that.
Yes,
So
it is.
Yeah,
yeah, that plays a
that
huge
plays
factor.
a huge role.
Yeah.
You know,
And it doesn't matter. I mean, let's
But-
be honest. If you win by EBIRS, who gives a shit? I mean,
But-
and I'm not being mean, but
No.
I mean, it's true.
Even
no one goes
Gordon,
back and says, "Well, that guy's the best," but it's this format.
No
that
one
just-
goes and gets seminars from guys with a bunch of Fuji gold medals.
Even Gordon did.
Because like, oh shit.
I'm trying to think about what somebody with Fuji medals. I
Um,
mean, I have a lot of. I don't. but-
Even Gordon didn't beat Pena though. Pena just gave up.
Yeah.
So
That
It's
was
true.
Craig Jones's comment. Yeah, absolutely. He said that I think his exact words was that Gordon gets to make his own rule set and then he beats people in his own rule set, which is
that's kind of
funny.
true too.
It is. It is not. It's not bad.
But the EBI is
Um,
kind of.
So last thing, I really want to talk about this because I was so disappointed with jiu-jitsu showing in the cage the last couple of matches.
That last
It was-
UFC card.
It was rough, man. Kron Gracie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
there
saw
we go.
I saw snippets of that in the back while I was.
Oh,
over.
did you hear he
So-
threw Damian Maya under the bus? So then I was like, oh, good, cool, fuck
Crown
off.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that he made the game plan that he thinks he lost because of the game plan, and then Ronnie watched it, and we were watching it yesterday, and he was like, hey, this coach has just told him to stay on top.
Yeah.
But he just kept pulling. So anyways, and then Mackenzie Dern
I only
beats
saw highlights of that
Hill
too, but it was pretty cool. The highlights I saw.
and could not armbar her.
Angela Hill's kind of tough, but
Yeah, but she could not armbar. She got to the
it
armbar,
was fucking
spider
hammer
web
fisting her.
a million
Shit,
times.
dude.
If you watch the fight,
Yeah, the highlights were good.
her armbar was bad, and
Was
it's
it?
incredible to me. So I remember when Tristan started in the cage, the biggest thing that Chad and you would always say is when he got to the ground, it turned into a grappling match.
Mm-hmm.
There was no strikes, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's when Mackenzie Dern does it, because everybody's gonna go, oh, she had 300 strikes. She will literally grapple for a long time and then be like, oh, I forgot it's MMA, and then start only striking,
Yeah.
and
there's
then
no
we'll all of a sudden be like,
combination.
oh, okay, now I'm gonna go back to a submission, and I'm not gonna strike.
Doesn't flow between them.
Correct.
Yeah.
She
That's
got
a big
to-
problem. A lot of people have that.
It's tough.
Jiu-Jitsu people for sure.
It is
She
something
got-
you actually have to train.
She got to 2 or 3 arm bars, and Angela Hill did the old, like, I asked Ronnie, because I'd never seen it before. She put her arm between her legs and triangled her legs, and that's how she stopped the arm bar.
Hmm.
And Dern could not figure that out. Because I asked Ronnie, I was like, don't you just punch her a ton in the face and then get her to open up and then you go for the arm bar? And I was like, yeah. And that's what she just wouldn't do. She just kept grabbing and just trying to rip it out, just like normally. I don't like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
But that happened 2 or 3 times in that match.
Tunnel vision is one of those things that I think every time I've had a guy in the cage, they've had some form of tunnel vision.
I couldn't imagine how you couldn't.
It's
Yeah.
like all sports. Any super hyper competitive thing you do, it just your brain just gets
Yeah.
like that.
I think
Like
we
video
just-
games or
I think we just got
Basketball,
spoiled
I'm
with
sure,
Damian
anything.
Maya
Yeah.
because he was just so good at
He is so
changing
fluid.
that. You know what I mean? I remember he went against that. It was one of his last fights.
But there was a time whenever he only grappled. Then he kind of
Oh, yeah.
transitioned to where his striking got like competent enough.
Well, he got older. It was kind of
Yeah.
weird because he went back to that grappling, but they were terrified when he was on their backer.
Mm-hmm.
He backpacked some kid. They got some young kid that I think they thought he was going to retire him. And he backpacked him within 30 seconds.
And that's it.
And the kid just stood against the fence, just frozen with fear. Like, oh my God,
Mhm.
Damian Maya's on my back.
I would too.
And like, well, I remember when we went to the
Probably
seminar, he literally said, he's like, hey, do you guys want to see the choke I put out Ben Askren? And like, that's where Sunyin learned what she always called the hamburger choke. And then, it's that palm to palm MMA choke. And he's like, I'm literally doing this to get to my palm to palm because that's the way you finish this in the cage. So
Okay.
it was great. But Rose got 3rd at ADCC, lost to
Helen or
Yeah, Helena. Yeah.
She's,
And,
she's freaking building a following.
well, they just got another one too, which I know people won't know this name as much, but Trinity Punt just said that she's moving a new way. So they're going to start building up women now, which is
It's
horrible.
crazy. All these little, Daisy Fresh, New Wave, B Team. They all are creating these things where people are moving their entire lives now for it.
Yeah.
CJ
mean,
just told
kinda
me
cool.
that a whole family moved from somewhere to go do the kids program at Mount Vernon,
Awesome.
which is awesome. Yeah, because I guess we're going to Mount Vernon because I have to be out there by 4 today, and he's gonna have those kids come in and train with Sun Yu.
Nice.
So it'd be kind of neat. But
This is kind of a callback from earlier, but do you know who Angela Hill's grandparents were?
oh,
Betty and Barney Hill, the like infamous duo that got abducted
Really?
by aliens, like one of the first accounts of that from like the 50s or something.
Shit, remember
Oh,
this
damn.
segment? I'm gonna put this in the snip.
Yeah,
for
that is
sure.
So cool.
It's a pretty interesting little snippet. I saw her when she was
I
on like
love
the Joe
Angela.
Rogan show
How
one
does
time,
he
and they
know
kind of
all that
talked
shit
about it.
sometimes?
I love
He
Angela.
always knows
It's
the
really
weird
interesting.
I really
stuff
like
they
it.
do.
Angela Hill gets screwed in every one of her fights. Like
She's fun too. I
she
like
lost
her.
5 decisions in a row. Like she beat Michelle Watterson beat her,
It's almost like
and I thought
Brandon
Michelle Watterson
just
lost.
stays in his apartment, gets all this knowledge.
That's boy.
So-
when you're right, you're right. You know.
I think we're long. I think we're done talking.
Almost
about
an hour.
Yeah. So I think we'll go ahead and just wrap it up. But does anybody want to say anything about just in the cage and maybe who you'd like to see go into the cage, who would have the right mindset for the transition?
And it would be like Lovato probably.
This has nothing. This isn't exactly what you're asking, but I think something I'd like to see explored is that combat karate style arena for jiu-jitsu, to where there is no cage you can lean against to defend takedowns. It's just a slanted slope, and if they double leg you into it, you got to defend it before you fucking get there.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. I've seen that too. But you still get the cool like Showtimey kind kicks because it's still got that slope
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
wanted it.
Yep.
So it's
It reminds me of like Bloodsport or something.
yeah, it's just the fact that they're fighting in a
What-
pit. It makes
Yeah,
that easier.
it does.
We could create that.
Yeah.
What's
A super fight where, you like, it would be like, imagine if you're trying to run away, but you can't run uphill, so you're just gonna get slid back
To
down.
be honest, even like spectator wise, that's an easier fight
Yeah.
to watch
And
because
it's
it's
peering through the
down.
cage.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah.
you're not going through the cage. You're
El-
looking down.
El Dorado, Illinois, is their basketball is a pit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The floor is here, and then everything rises like that. It's my favorite
Like stadium seating.
place
kinda?
to play.
Yeah.
It was so awesome to play there. It was. I actually like enjoyed going to that place and playing basketball because the crowd is insane.
What position did you play?
Oh, I was a fat guard.
Nice.
Yeah, I just rebounded and did assists. That's all I did.
Hell yeah.
And play defense and do dirty shit.
I like it.
I made a girl cry one time. It was fun.
That's what life's all about.
I know, that's right. All right, Chad.
Well, July 1st, King of the Mat. So if anybody does watch this,
Bring your cat's penis.
bring your cat's penis. But yeah, July 1st, we're doing King of the Mat. Smoothcomp.com. You can find it by just going there and searching King of the Mat. I assume, I hope. Other than that, we're gonna run our kids divisions. We're gonna run adult divisions, white belts and no-gi basically. Every division, I'm hoping to do some type of payout or giveaway, and
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, King of the Mat's a fun one. It's fun. I enjoy those.
I did it once.
did you?
I was not the king.
I done too. I got tapped out by.
I believe it was Tristan that day.
I got tapped out by the kid from St. Louis.
Actually,
Nick.
may have been Couch.
Oh,
You were in that division?
Yeah. I don't think I competed
No,
against him, but I remember that was the one I did. It was like Couch
The
one.
one from Gracie.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah.
crazy
Yeah,
blue
he's
belt
a really
kid
nice
one or
kid.
white belt kid one or
You know,
something.
Barbie so
Oh.
gently.
And then
You compete? I thought you just watched that one. I don't think you competed.
I don't know. I definitely
I
did
think
one.
you just watched it.
There was one I definitely.
You weren't
did
in that
one.
one. you,
There was one I
'cause
lost
you would
like
have been in
second
the
round.
175 and under, and you would have went with the Borneman
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
I refed the Borneman one.
and the other guy that it was a good. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember that. It was like Borneman and this other blue belt that was a
Mhm.
wresler
And he
from
kept-
up by Danville.
He kept
And
cartwheel
it was
passing.
like, yeah, like it
or
was a really
Kimura-
I
intense
think that
match
was the
for
one
like.
Flying
Schaefer
Kimura
was
or
in
something.
too.
Yes, and that's
Schaefer
when
ankle locked
switch-
everybody.
yeah.
Because I talked to him. and
you
I was
just
like,
watched
yeah.
that one. That
I
would
think I
have been
refed in that one.
yeah, that would have been a horrible division to be in. The couch, Tristan. That was like 20 monstrous blue belts.
Yeah.
I know
who
I
I
only
wanna
did
see
one
on?
of them.
Huh?
Justin Fabic.
Oh yeah,
I want to see that guy.
yeah.
I want him to come.
He just did Nogi Pants. He was at the Nogi Pants when I saw him. He
I
did.
love him.
But yeah, he's
Love
slick.
watching him.
All right, don't let your cat's penis get stuck in a door.
Yeah.